for Richie. He's going to be alongside of Corey McLenithan, back for the first time in 2014. This is basically going to be the last round of a heavyweight showdown, because this is Richie Crampton's last opportunity to get qualified here. Remember, not so long ago, he grabbed his first win in just his 9th event in Englishtown, New Jersey.
399 is the bump spot. He's ran as quick as a 392, but the time didn't carry over.
Let's catch up now with Jamie Howe. Jamie.
Well, the team not only had to get that car turned around to get Richie out here, but they also had to fix the problem and find out what that was. It was this $3 air fitting. It popped off when they did the burnout. It lost all control of the ignition and the fuel, so they really didn't have any choice. The car just completely blew up. They said this cost $3. The explosion cost them thousands of dollars, but it also cost them that third session to qualify.
Wow.
So you got $30 a gallon nitro. You got $1,200 slicks on the back. You got a chassis that's worth who knows how much. A total car, a $250,000, $3 piece.
Well, you know, that's not the first time that's happened, but it's tough to handle when it does. It just basically none of the ignition, timing systems, fuel systems worked. So it had a lot of timing, a lot of fuel in it. Obviously, you saw the result of that. The engine was not happy.
Corey McLenithan, his 424th race in his long top fuel career. Nobody has raced in more top fuel events. Great to have Corey back. Can he get qualified in Mike Dakin's car? What about Richie Crampton?
Hey, look at that.
Oh, and Corey just misses. Crampton, a +5 improvement, isn't secure yet. Corey knows, though, that his day is done. Aaron Brooks, read on his body language, Mike, is not what he was looking for.
Obviously, he tried to he backed it down to make sure it went down the racetrack, but you're right, Dave. He wanted some more out of that race car because he's done that before. Aaron Brooks has backed that thing down and still been able to go out and run a big number. 390 was not the pass they were looking for. Now all they can do is hope that it's good enough to hang on.
I gotta love side-by-side race cars, though, with header flames, but tough to see Corey McLenithan, a guy who struggled to find that full-time ride going all the way back to the late 90s with Joe Gibbs in such a powerhouse car, not be a part of the field. But Corey, come on back, man. We miss you very much.
In funny car qualifying, Dale Worsham is shooting for his third #1 qualifying position of the season. Friday night during qualifying, he flew down the racetrack with a 4 flat elapsed time to grab #1. Dell also has his old new car back. It's the one in which they broke a rear lower tube 2 weeks ago. Well, that has been fixed. They've also put a new front half on the chassis. Dell's crew chief, John Oberhofer, loves the car, says it's like an old, comfortable pair of shoes. So far, in its return to competition, it's worked well for them.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Comfort level of the old shoe, yeah. It's a tweak off.
Pair of old shoes, right?
Right.
Is that what he's talking about?
Yep.
He's talking
that
about
car
the funny
is good.
car.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
I'll tell you what, when you get, I mean, there definitely are cars that you get in, and it just feels right. They can be built exactly the same, but the way the car works, the way the car drives, you're definitely more comfortable, which gives you more confidence. And obviously, right now, I think Dale Worsham's driving with a lot of confidence because that car's been running well.
So the standings have changed just a little bit. You saw that Crampton got up into the 15th position, but now here comes Chris Karamessinis, currently sitting in the #20 spot. Luigi Novelli sitting alongside of him. A couple of legends from the Chicagoland area. Try to get qualified here right now in Norwalk, Ohio.
Bum spot, Terry McMillan with a 390 with a 6 elapsed time. Conditions are definitely there. It's a matter of whether they've got the setup to be able to punch into the show.
There's the bump spot, the number 3.906. Oh, hold on right there. Right lane mows the cones. Neither one will qualify. It looked like the Greek was getting out of the groove just a little bit there.
Yeah, when you knock the timing box out, you're pretty much out of the groove. Been there, done that, but take a look at the left side of your screen. You're going to see the Greek really starts pushing over there. He got out of it pretty quick, but boy, that momentum just really carried him over, and he just cleaned those blocks out on the top end.
Well, the Greek ran in the 3s last weekend in Chicago, but ended up 17th, and he's not going to make it again here in Norwalk. Same story for Luigi Novelli.
on this spectacular setting at the top end of the racetrack. Corey Mack, we don't get a chance to see you nearly enough, but it is great to have you out here. Mike Dakin's car, unfortunately, not making the field. When will we see you next?
Well, this was really a test session for us. I mean, Mike and Chris both called me a few weeks ago and said, let's go, be at Norwalk, let's get a test session in, and then we'll make it to Indy. So for Indy Creek Fabricators and Mutual Tool and Oakley and all the guys, I mean, they really did a great job. We brought Jimmy Dupuy in here to work with Bob Peck, and the guys did an impeccable job since we haven't been on a track since, Indy last year? Yeah. So that was my first full pass. So we're happy with the 92. That's a good test deal. We'll be ready for Indy.
We look forward to seeing you then. U.S. Nationals, Labor Day weekend. Richie, meanwhile, such drama in the last session. You bounced back fairly impressively. Was it hard after the big fire that you experienced earlier?
Yeah, it was. You know, we had a lot of stuff to clean up, and we had to blow up like that in qualifying and make it a long day for the fans out here. But the Geico team did a great job, and 390 I think we just ran. So hopefully we can go racing tomorrow. But you know, it was just another last-minute thing, just like Chicago last week. So the Geico crew did a good job, and let's go racing tomorrow.
This business of being a top fuel dragster driver is crazy sometimes, isn't it?
It has been lately.
Keep in mind, he's a rookie this year as a driver.
And a brand new father as well. The next pair, you see him on the line right now, featured Terry McMillan along with Leah Pritchett. Pritchett driving that Dote family race car. Been a part of a few explosive moments here in the NHRA Mellow Yellow Drag Racing Series, including last year. Boom!
Big explosion, and she had a couple cylinders out and then backfires that supercharger just before the finish line and definitely got her attention.
McMillan's on the bump. Pritchett's not qualified as the drama rolls on from Ohio. Not in, and one driver that just bumped in. Very curious to see what happens here, Mike Dunn.
Well, let's set the stage. Richie Crampton, definitely all eyes are on this pair right here. This will set the field. If both of these drivers can run quicker than Richie Crampton, he will be bumped out. The key is Richie Crampton, that 390 with the 5 elapsed time, that's the time that both drivers need to run quicker than to make sure that they will be running tomorrow, and Richie Crampton won't be.
Well, Leah has qualified for every race that her and her Dote entry have entered this year.
Yeah, it's surprisingly he's not in. I mean, that car has ran very well. So, you know, the key here is both cars, you know, trying to go down the track. You're on board with Terry McMillan. He is starting to come around, but Doug Cook on the other side of that race car has been doing a fantastic job making that car run consistently in the low 380 range. They're going to need to do that, obviously, to try to get into the show. You know, probably shoot for a mid 380 or 385 at least to get qualified.
Try to avoid a second consecutive DNQ here. That's what Leah Pritchett and her team are trying to do. Terry McMillan, he knows the countdown's going to be a pretty tough row to hoe, so to speak. But as his crew chief Richard Hartman steps away, he says, we can continue to get better. That's what we need and want to do.
Richard's in.
Leah 399 is not.
That's a surprise.
In. That run certainly looked a whole lot better than the numbers that popped up on the scoreboard. And so for the first time this year and the second consecutive year, Leah's out. McMillan survived so far.
You can hear the engines kind of grab down out in the middle of the racetrack and then start spin the tires for Terry McMillan. And Leah Pritchett, I was surprised. When I saw that car go to the finish line, I thought, okay, this is a car that's capable, but obviously after the launch, just did not have the numbers to get in.
Terry McMillan knows now that he will survive on the bump spot. It's qualified 16. So bring us now to Clay Milligan on a single. That is Dexter Tuttle pushing the car back.
Well, he's supposed to be alongside Troy Buff, but Troy Buff was obviously solidly in the show with a 385 elapsed time. They were trying that 6-disc clutch. They like what they saw in the previous 2 runs as it went down the track consistently. Right now, Clay Milligan, he's trying to get this thing to run a little bit better. They're going to the finish line lately. You'll make it, and the parts are looking pretty good. Trying to just get a little bit more performance out of that car.
We said forever we thought Clay Milligan was going to be the 100th top fuel racer. It ended up being Richie Crampton. Why did we say that about Clay? His IHRA credentials are spectacular, even here at this racetrack where he won 4 times back in those days. In fact, he won 52 races in the IHRA, a 6-time champion, though. Just goes to show you how tough the sledding is here in the NHRA Mellow Yellow Drag Racing Series.
This is the big leagues.
Oh, that doesn't look too bad. 4:02.6. Again, a number I expected Mike to be a little bit better, as Clay still will qualify in the number 14 position.
I don't know what's happening. I mean, these are cars that obviously aren't, pretty much aren't, you don't expect them to run low ET, but you expect better numbers. And both him and Leah just really did not, the car just didn't launch. Right from the get-go, they hit the gas, they're slow and 60 foot, and then the numbers just kept really not doing anything all the way down the racetrack. Clicks it, or maybe it clicked itself just before the finish line, but not a good run for the team.
Is there anything going on, Mike? It's just 71 degrees. The density altitude's 2,000. It's not a lot of grains. There's not much humidity. What is going on?
I mean, the teams are missing it for whatever reason. I don't know what that reason is, but we'll see as some of the teams come in behind them and see what they can do.
Troy Buff, who sat out Q4, qualified 12th.
Man, what a story.
Unbelievable. Bob Vandergriff alongside of Pat Dakin, Dayton, Ohio boy. Been racing since the early 70s in Top Fuel. Vandergriff 11th, Dakin 13th. That's where he'll stay.
Oh, there we go.
Take a look at that number. We stepped up big time. 3,777. Vandergriff up to number 2.
Where did that come from? We see everybody struggling trying to get numbers early. There was no problem for Bob Vandergriff from the right side of your screen. He lifts that front end up, sets it right back down, straight down the racetrack, drifted a little bit towards the wall on the other end. But what a nice pass. 377 to 322 miles per hour.
Nothing wrong with that as Kurt Elliott and crew. Yeah, you guys deserve a fist pump there. Nicely done. Well, that is Bob Vandergriff's team car. Larry Dixon Jr. back as well this weekend. Larry will be alongside of Khaled Belushi, both champions of the sport. Khaled, of course, in the Pro Mod days. Larry Dixon, what, 3-time Top Fuel champ, 4-time Indy winner? He's done it all.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time, second-generation driver. He's worked on the cars. He's driven them. He's won championships, as you said. And it's obviously great to see him at this event. Take a look at what he did last night, though. Wasn't pretty.
No, it's like LD and a little TNT. Boom. See that supercharger skew on top, Mike? I'm not a crew chief. I don't even play one on TV, but that ain't right.
Nah, they're supposed to be bolted on a little more securely than that, Dave, but when you backfire the supercharger, it's hard for them to stay on.
Both of these guys, Norwalk winners. Larry Dixon twice with the Alan Abbey crew. Obviously, Khaled did that as well. Del Worsham also a win for Alan Abbey. They've got 4 of them here. But it's great to have LD back, who's now going to be out for a lot of the next few races, so it'll be good to have him added into the Top Fuel mix to spice things up.
And he just saw his boss run 377. It's got to be encouraging.
Each one of them. And Khaled's is the one that knocks Larry Dixon down a run, down to the number 11 spot with that nice pass. Khaled will start in the number 9 position, courtesy of that 383.2 run. Best run of his weekend so far. On Ultramo, it looks oh so sweet, especially at night with 8-foot header flames, and we got more of them coming your way next.